Welcome to our first episode of the DeSoto Parish Schools Podcast. This is a new opportunity to share information with you, our community. I'm your host, Corley, Superintendent of Schools here in DeSoto Parish. And today we're diving into some of the exciting capital projects that we have happening this summer and what you can expect for the 24-25 school year. Joining me today is our Director of Operations, Mr. Heith Parker. Welcome, Mr. Parker. Thanks for joining us today, and I really appreciate your time and all the work that your team does.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mr. Corley. I'm excited just to discuss some of the projects that we've done across DeSoto Parish this summer, as well as discuss some of our preventive maintenance that we're taking care of getting ready for our 24-25 school year.
Great. Thanks again. So let's just dive right in and start with a little bit of an overview of our capital projects that are wrapping up this summer and a few ongoing and upcoming projects as well. So can you give us a snapshot of what's been happening across the district this summer?
Yes, sir. So we received some capital project improvements in all four districts across the parish. We have focused on the offices and restroom renovation at Mansfield Elementary and Middle School. You're going to see student restrooms that have been renovated and updated with new tile. Just a great project going on out there. Students are going to be excited to come back and just see what we've done over the summer, as well as our office staff receiving new countertops, remodeling, restructuring that office design. A lot of input and time went into that. So as well as we had some additions to classrooms where we renovated an older music room at North DeSoto Lower Elementary, and then expanded that for the growth that we have taking place at North DeSoto's district. Logan Sport, we saw phase one kick off recently, which was the upgrade of the bleachers and some other items out there at the football stadium. This was a much needed upgrade for safety and getting us ADA compliant for the future. I look forward to seeing that project completed prior to football season, and as well as just welcome our guests back for opening game in October. At Stanley, we're seeing several upgrades in that district, with the gym, the student activity center being the main one out there. If you've driven down Highway 84, you've seen a major project taking place, as well as the activity center. We've added 2 classrooms, one for pre-K students, another one for our special needs students, as well as we've added an additional weight room to replace our old one out there. So we're really looking forward to just students coming back, wrapping up these projects, and it's an exciting time for the DeSoto Parish School Board right now.
Yeah, well, thanks. That does sound very exciting. And I know much of the ongoing work that's done typically in the summer is directly a byproduct of the money provided in our capital projects account that primarily comes from sales tax, but also through property tax as well. But then we have bond projects, and you alluded to 2 of those. One at Logan Sport and the other at Stanley. The one at Stanley is wrapping up, and of course, as you mentioned, look forward to seeing the Student Activity Center finished here in the next couple months, and seeing those activities take place in that building, as well as we saw the turf fields and the new parking areas, and you mentioned the classroom wings. So a lot of things happening, wrapping up there, that bond project, thanks to the voters and the community in Stanley, but also kicking off that project in a multi-phased approach there in Logansport. Really some exciting times. And as you mentioned, the completion of the renovation of the bleacher area, the addition of the scoreboard and the sound system there prior to the start of the school year, and phase 2 happening just after we get school started, and we'll see some of those things become a reality where after this football season, I know restrooms and concession areas and the general concourse area will be completely demolished and renovated, And so that football stadium is really a two-pronged approach, but also then looking forward to the addition of parking areas, and then the kind of the crown jewel there, that the central concourse, and as we call Tiger Central, really coming to be a reality there. So that's fantastic. Just go into detail a little bit more about some of these projects, and specifically, no one really gets excited too much about restroom renovations, but you do, and I know I do, Mr. Parker. And some folks might see this just the new and not realize what the before and after look like, but a really extreme makeover, and quite an undertaking. But what does that do for our students from a hygiene perspective and a convenience, or just a culture building project?
Well, when we're able to go in there and renovate these restrooms, most people think of cosmetics, and of course, that is the first thing that students notice. But just having a sanitary place to go and use the restroom, students seeing that we're taking pride in our buildings, and also that it teaches students that hey, we have something nice. Let's take care of them. So we went in. What you see there at Mansfield Elementary Middle School. That's all new flooring, all new fixtures, all new partitions. And then what we did was we went ahead and tiled from the floor up to about 8 feet up the wall. That just makes it easier for us to maintain. We don't have to do the paint. We don't have to worry about the students. It's sanitary. It's just an overall clean look. We, as well as not only doing the student restrooms, but we're renovating all of the faculty restrooms on the elementary and the middle school side, as far as their break rooms. So when teachers are in there on their break, getting to eat lunch, they just have a nice sanitary place to go. Something that's those restrooms were original back to 1992 when that building was built. So it was a much needed upgrade, and something that I'm really proud that we were able to move forward with that capital projects funding.
Yeah, certainly a minor detail, but a major difference. And we talk about the modernization of our facilities, and remaining on the cutting edge and the innovative side of things. And one of the greatest compliments that I can receive on behalf of our district is, from time to time, I'll have folks that reach out via email to me that were coming through our community, that don't live here but just passing by, and remark at the our facilities and the shape that they're in. And as a matter of fact, a few months ago, I had someone reach out and say that they just love the grounds and the new school out at Mansfield Elementary Middle. And I had to laugh, but also a very proud moment. But I also told them that school was built in the early 90s. And so a credit to not only your team, but our leaders and our support staff, faculty, and everyone, the community as well, that take great pride and care of our facilities. So just appreciate a team effort there. So it's July in Louisiana, and even though it's not been overwhelmingly hot this year, I'm sure that there are some triple-digit temperatures somewhere waiting around the corner for us all. And talk with us about the ongoing work. Your team does a great job at making sure that we are operating effectively and properly, not just from the brick and mortar in the buildings, but all of our systems. And our HVAC system is one here in Louisiana that we definitely don't take for granted. And just talk with me about how you and your team ensure that those systems are operating properly.
Okay, yes, sir. So we have about 18 chill water systems throughout our parish that serve different schools throughout the district. So one thing we try to make sure we do is each summer we try to go out there, make sure those units are clean and inspected. Sometimes we'll bring in an outside source just assist us with those tasks. Then, of course, once they're cleaned and inspected, they run through a checklist of sensors, inspecting sensors, contactors, relay switches, and then basically they make a recommendation to us, like, hey, this is getting older, or it's this at this time, maybe the wires are breaking down, and then we take their recommendation, we get prices on that, and then luckily for us, we've been able to support that and with our funding. And so anything they recommend, we try to go out and have it replaced. So we've been replacing a lot of parts. We've been doing a lot of inspections, a lot of cleaning to these chillers. Our goal is to make sure that chiller system is working at 100% the first day of school. So it is a big task. I think we always wait till August the 1st for the 100-degree weather to hit. But we're looking forward to getting back to school. We feel like we were better prepared this year than in the past. And so we look forward to a smooth opening and getting students back in a good educational setting.
Yeah, most definitely. And I always appreciate the nature in which you guys reflect each year and improve. And so we're very proud of the work that you guys do that leads us into the new school year and then carries us throughout. Always a lot going on in your department by way of capital projects, that's for sure. One of the things that I want to hit on to that note really is the amount of planning and preparation that goes on consistently in your department, but that we do our best to take that 5-year look ahead and always plan for the future and align our finances to that plan. So talk with us a little bit about how you plan for and prepare for renovations and updates, upgrades, and new projects.
Okay. Yes, sir. So back in 2015, we brought in an outside architect as well as engineers, and we did a full assessment of all facilities in DeSoto Parish. They provided us with a recommendation, and for each district based off the age of equipment, the number of people in the facility, number of students, how much the unit runs per year. And then we take that information and we try to have a 5-year plan. That gives us the opportunity to budget, to look ahead. Our goal is to get as much life out of a piece of equipment as possible, but yet we want to replace it just before it fails. So it's kind of a timing issue there. So we do that with each district. We're able to sit down with yourself, myself, board members to look at that future plan to see what do we need to do, what is our main priority, and what's our focus for the next 5 years. As a matter of fact, Mr. Corley, we will be doing that assessment again in 2025. Therefore, we'll be able to sit down and plan out through year 2030 when we'll bring those architects and engineers back in. So it's a very resourceful tool that I'm able to use, as well as to bring information to the table to really justify why we're going in the direction we're going, or why we need to spend this money that is in our capital projects fund to support our facilities and keep our facilities in the best condition possible.
Well, we certainly have been a beneficiary of that planning in order for us to stay the course and stay focused on our plan and utilizing the resources that we have effectively. So I know we've got several projects lined up, including some further upgrades to all of our facilities that are part of that plan, and part of the bond projects going on, like I mentioned, out at Logansport Stanley. We also have some major work planned for here at Mansfield with regard to upgrades of their athletic facilities. But ultimately, our long-term goal, I believe we share this, is to provide state-of-the-art facilities that enhance the learning environment for our students and support the overall development of our community. And so we thank you, Mr. Parker, for what you do and your team does every day. Thank you for sharing this information with us. It's exciting, as always, to see the positive changes happening across our district. And we thank you, our viewers, for tuning in to our very first podcast episode. We hope you found it informative and inspiring. Stay tuned for more updates and stories from our district. And remember, together we are making the DeSoto difference.